YouTube, what is going on? Crowder here, and I am bringing you guys back another video. Today's video, we are doing a CDL video, and as you guys can probably tell from the title above, we will be talking about the new Florida Mutineers roster. This is actually official. This is not a rumor. I think this is the first video we're making on the CDL that's not a rumored roster. I don't even think we made a video on this team before. I actually did not know that this move was happening at all behind the scenes. I have kind of been a little bit out of it, but the Florida Mutineers now have an official roster. That official roster is Davpadie, Havok, Owankening, and Skyz. This roster is obviously pretty similar to the last one. They had Neptune last year. They got rid of Neptune, and now they have Davpadie. If I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure Davpadie actually considered retiring from the amateur scene and the challenger scene last year. That could be total BS. But regardless, Davpadie's been a CDL player or like a challengers player for quite some time now. We used to scrim him a lot in Modern Warfare when it was 5v5. I remember playing him a decent amount, and I'm pretty sure that he was a pretty good AR player. He was one of the more slower AR kind of players. And that's probably the one thing we'll talk about here soon with this roster. Him being an AR player kind of confuses me just because they had Neptune, and Neptune was probably the fastest player on their team. He was absolutely cracked out. I don't know if he left or whatever. Or the rumor of him going to New York is true. I'm not really too sure with that. But regardless, we have Davpadie taking his spot. And now let's get into what I think of the roster, and I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. So yeah, this roster, including Davpadie instead of Neptune, could work out obviously one of two ways. They can do good, they can do bad, obviously, like every single roster change. The only thing I guess I'd say I'm skeptical about, and this is probably one of the first videos I've made about kind of being skeptical, not in a bad way, just, you know, some question marks. I'm sure a lot of the people on Reddit and just in the COD scene in general, even maybe them, have their own, like, you know, question marks on what's going on. Davpadie is a main AR, if I recall correctly. I don't know too much about him as a player. Every time we scrimmed him, I'm pretty sure I saw the M4 in his hands back in MW. I think he is one of the slower AR players. And with that being said, you have Skyz on your team, who is one of the slower AR players too. And then you have Owankening, who is also not a slower AR. I think he's a really, really good flex. I think Owankening is actually an absolute monster, honestly. I think he's really, really good. I think he can run a sub. I think he can run an AR. I think he's the real deal. I'm actually a really big fan of his gameplay. I think he's disgusting. So I'm not too worried about him as much. The only thing that kind of, you know, brings up the question mark is him and Skyz on the same team, both a little bit slower ARs. Skyz is incredible at getting a lot of kills. He's got really good gun skill, but the pacing could be a little bit weird. But at the same time, one of them could obviously speed up a little bit. And the other thing that I'm a little skeptical about is, even though I said Owankening can do basically anything, I still think him at that flex role was just so damn dominant. When he had the AR, when he needed to, he was an absolute beast. And if he ever needed to run a sub, I think he can run it very, very well. But I just think him being like that annoying, you know, do-it-all kind of AR player that was like, you know, the Celium, the Dashy, the Owankening, like those kind of players are so hard to come across. And if he's getting forced into a sub role, which I think I heard correctly, if not, I could be wrong, obviously leave it in the comments below. It just could be a little bit weird because I think he's so damn good that forcing him to that role could hurt him. But at the same time, it could help him so much that he could be one of the best sub players next year. We have no idea. But that's just like my questions on this team. I think they're really, really good. I think Florida has always had the potential to really upset really good teams, but they've never had that consistent, like, you know, like we're gonna beat a good team, then beat another good team, and then when we play a bad team, we're going to beat them too. Like, they've always kind of had like their ups and downs throughout the year, but they definitely have what it takes to, you know, get to the top level. It's just finding the recipe of consistency for this team. So this is a roster change. I'm a little skeptical on it, honestly. I do wish them the best. I hope they are really, really good. I think my favorite part about the Florida team is that they do a lot of picking up people that you would never actually expect to pick up, and then they usually end up doing pretty good. Neptune did pretty good. Owankening was incredible. Maybe they're onto something with Davpadie. You never really know. But this roster should be good if Owankening is really, really good at the sub, which I don't really worry about too much. And then Skyz and Davpadie can, you know, kind of find their pacing issues with each other. But, you know, we haven't talked too much about Havok. He's been around a while. He knows what he's doing. Colt's always going to be the annoying sub to play against. No matter how good or bad your team is, playing against Colt is always annoying. He always ends up behind you somehow. He always ends up in a place that you just don't want him to be at the wrong or at the right time for him, but the wrong time for you. So I think this team's got a lot of potential. I actually cannot wait to see them, you know, perform and see how they go with their scrims and all of that. I'm sure a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about their team is, you know, finding that consistent factor of why they can only sometimes beat good teams, but then lose to bad teams, and then like just be all over the place, like in the middle of the pack. They obviously want to take it the next step, and they probably found that Davpadie is the one for that. So who knows? I don't know, but I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I'm a little skeptical, but at the same time, I do think there's a lot of potential for them to, get it together and actually be a very good team this year. Let me know in the comments below of what you guys think of the Florida Mutineers roster. Everything about what they're doing over there. I would love to hear it, especially if there's Florida fans that are watching this. Please let me know what you guys think. I love hearing all your guys' comments about the CDL and all that stuff, and I try and answer most of the comments on these kind of videos when I'm streaming and all that, just because having conversation and engaging with you guys on this kind of content is some of my favorite stuff to do. Like the video if you like it. If you guys want more, the more likes these kind of videos get, the better feedback these kind of videos get, the more I'll probably post them. So like the video, comment on what you guys think. I would love to have some conversation with you guys down there in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this kind of video. If you guys did, again, like it. I hope you guys have a great day. And as always, it's been your boy Crowder, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.